Hey guys, Jennifer Dixon here with Yoga East, and I'm in the beautiful city of Chattanooga. I got to plug my town. I thought I would lead you guys in a relatively quick practice. My son just went down for a nap, so fingers crossed we get a full hour in. Even if it's just 45 minutes, I'm going to make sure that it's worth our while. Um, I welcome you to come practice with me. If you like it, leave some feedback for me below. I can help and modify classes going forward. And keep an eye out. We will be offering these classes online regularly very, very soon. So if you like us, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out. We're going to be offering lots and lots of stuff coming up in the very near future. If you see some dogs, that was Luna. She just came and joined us, and my other dog is Ruger. He and she sometimes like to practice with me. So make yourself comfortable. It doesn't matter what you're wearing. As you can see, I'm not in anything fancy, just trying to be relatively comfortable on this somewhat warm late spring day. You don't need anything fancy besides your mat. If you've got blocks, that's awesome. If you've got other props, that's also awesome. I like to practice up against the wall in case I decide to get a little crazy and try to go upside down. It's my 2018 goal to get over my fear of being upside down, so I might throw some of that in there. Do what you want to do what feels good, and let's get to practicing. So I'm going to come to the top of my mat, my toes together, heels slightly apart. Go ahead and try to stand up straight, lengthen through my tailbone. Low belly stays in and up. That's that Uddiyana Bandha. Pelvic floor is squeezing together and lifting up. That's that Mula Bandha. That helps to keep us stable. It helps to keep us strong. When the Uddiyana Bandha is engaged, when those transverse abdominals are strong and engaged, it can take up to 40% of pressure off of your low back. So let's keep that belly engaged. A couple of more breaths here. Crown of the head reaching up towards the ceiling. Palms reaching and relaxing down towards the ground, open to receive. Let's do one more. We're going to go through one Surya Namaskar. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. No, fold rather. Inhaling, lift up. Exhale, plant your hands. Walk, step, jump your feet back. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. One more. Let's come forward. Forward fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Exhale, mountain pose. Let's do that again. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. 5 more breaths here. We're just warming up the body. So sometimes you may want to kind of sway side to side. We're working towards getting into stillness. So this is the beginning of our moving meditation. So sometimes I do have wiggles. I like to call them wiggles, and I have to get them out. But we're really working on coming to stillness right here in this down dog. One more breath. Let's look forward on the inhale. Come on forward. Forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastitihi. That's basically come to attention at mountain. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk, step, jump those feet back. Let's hang out here in high plank. Now check me out. I'm not doing this with my butt up, and I'm also not sinking my booty down. I'm like one long line of energy from the very, very bottom of my heels out through the top of my head. So the point of this is to really get the legs involved, the belly involved, the shoulders involved. We're really trying to build some strength. Now, you'll notice I have a pretty pronounced posterior tilt. So it's really obvious when I'm not engaging my abs. So posterior tilt means booty sticking out. So really tuck that tailbone in. Feel how the abs get a little more intense when you do that. One more breath. Now, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Couple breaths here just to catch your breath. One more. All right, let's inhale back to high plank. Stay here, exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, your next challenge, should you choose to accept it, from high plank, let's try to jump our feet forward. You can also walk your feet forward, going back to down dog. So inhale, I'm going to think to myself, I can do this. Belly's engaged. Come on forward. Nice. Straighten the legs, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. That's just a little more challenging than having the extra momentum from downward dog. Let's move into a sun B. Inhale, chair pose, sinking down low, reaching the hands up high. If you can, your hands can touch. Not important, not as important as just breathing. Let's do one more. That's forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Belly stays in as we plant the hands. Walk those feet back, high plank, hold. We're starting to build some heat. Some Agni, that's that fire that's purifying our bodies. Low plank. Let's see if we can hold this chaturanga. Those feet are active. Energy out through the heels. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now plant that left foot down. Right foot comes forward. Warrior one. We're trying to bring that left hip forward. Trying to bring the left shoulder forward to square ourselves off to the front of the room. Fingertips are reaching high while we bend into that right knee. Mula Bandha. Tilt the pelvic floor. The pelvis down, pelvic floor up. One more. All right, plant the hands. Walk the feet back. High plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Right foot planks. Left foot comes forward. Warrior one on the left. So you'll find that I often cue things that I'm thinking about myself. So I'm trying to bring this right hip forward. Trying to sink into the left knee. Sometimes I have a hard time getting that tailbone to tilt down and re-engaging through the pelvic floor. But that's why we practice. Keep doing it. Belly in. One more. Nice. Plant the hands. Left foot comes back. Go through your vinyasa. Couple breaths. I am so glad that you guys cannot see all of the baby food that is on my leggings right now. Hoo-hoo. No judgment. When you're in the privacy of your own home, oh well, as long as you got, I don't know, you're able to move. I don't care what you're doing it in. All right, let's look forward, and then let's come forward. Belly's in. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Stay here, exhale. One more. Samasthiti. Ah, beautiful. I didn't even see what time it was. Let's sit back into chair. Stay here, exhale. One more inhale. Let's come hands to the heart center. Re-engage through the abs. Now check it out. We don't want cheerleader butts here. This isn't cheerleader practice. This is yoga practice. So lengthen through that tailbone. Build a little bit more heat here in the legs. Hands are at your heart center. Nice. Now what we're going to do is try to balance on this left leg. Bring that left leg up. And we're going to cross it over the right. This can be challenging, so you can either stay here in chair, just lift the left leg, or you can try to sit in this one-legged chair, really stretching the left piriformis out, belly in. One more. Nice. Let that left go. We're not coming up to standing if we can. Keep in this seat, keep in this chair, bringing that right foot up. Keep cross the right leg over the left. This is just like a little bit of bonus booty work while we're still building up heat. And as we build up heat, it's going to help to lengthen that piriformis. This is usually a really tight spot for people. All right, keep that left knee bent. Come on out of this. Stay in the lower. One more. Nice forward fold. Woo, good job, guys. Halfway lift, bellies in, plant the hands. Vinyasa. A vinyasa is high plank, low plank, up dog, down dog. Plant that left foot down, right foot comes forward. Join me in warrior one. Let's check in with this warrior one. We're working our hips towards square. We're working our left shoulders forward. If it's not square, that's okay. That's just what we're energetically trying to tell our body to do. That hip flexor on the left will open up with time. Let's do one more breath. Okay, hands clasped behind the back. Pull the hands down behind you. Open up across the chest. You can look up if your balance allows, or you can keep looking forward. One more breath. Awesome. Now we're going to humble this. Bring the head down inside that right knee. Hands fall forward. Belly's in. Sink into that right knee. One more. Let's come back to our warrior one. Inhale. Plant the hands in vinyasa. One breath here. Next inhale brings that left foot forward. Ground down through that right foot. Come on up, warrior one. Remember, right shoulder forward, right hip forward. Left knee is bending. Belly is in. Pelvis tilting forward. So many things to think about. One more breath. All right, clasp those hands behind you. Pull your shoulders away from the ears. Pull the hands towards the heels. Lift the pelvic floor. Looking up. One more breath. Nice. Now we're going to come into this humble warrior. Keep that bend in the left knee. One more. Nice. Let's come on up. Stay here. Exhale. One more inhale. And plant the hands. Try to pick up that left foot without making a sound. Set it down at the back of the mat. Vinyasa. So we should have generated a little bit of heat by now. I've got a little bit of sweat going. My heart rate's up just a little bit. Hopefully you are too. Let's build on that. Inhale, high plank. I'm going to set my right forearm down. Left forearm down. Hold. Left hand down. Right hand down. Hold. Left forearm down. Right forearm down. Hold. Try not to let your booty sway too much. Right hand down. Left hand down. Hold. Nice. Now you can keep doing that, or you can bring your hands out forward just a little bit, and let's play with elbows back and up. So it's not like moving to chaturanga. It's like a plank with an extra bit of tricep work. One more. Whoo, hold this plank. Downward facing dog. I don't know about you guys, but my triceps started talking to me. Whoo, I need to get out of that. Okay, let's plant that left foot down. Bring that right foot back and forward. Come back to our warrior one. We've been here before. It should feel pretty good. Clasp those hands behind your back. Pull them down. Now we're going to humble this warrior one more time. And you can stay in your humble warrior, or you can try to balance on that front leg. So, inhale here. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here,
Or if you'd like to juice this up a bit, let's bring all of our weight into that front leg. One more. Slowly with control, bend that right knee a some, set that left foot down, come back to your warrior one. Sink in. One more. Chaturanga. We're going to hold this chaturanga, hold this low plank. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale up dog, exhale down dog. Beautiful. We're just working our bodies. So all the blood rushes to the legs when we're holding those warrior ones, and then we force the heart to work a little more when we hold the plank right afterwards. So it's just a really good way to amp the heart rate up. Left foot forward, warrior one. Clasp those hands behind your back. Pull them down and away. Now don't forget that left knee is bent. Tailbone's lengthening down. One more breath. Let's humble this warrior. Now you can stay right here in this humbled warrior, or you can try to balance it. This is my harder side, so this is going to be fun to see and let the whole world see with me. All right, inhale, let's pick it up. One more. Bend that left knee, slow with control. Come back to your warrior one. Hallelujah. One more. Plant the hands down. Left foot back. High plank, low plank. Hold this low plank in. Out. One more in. Up dog. Down dog. Awesome. So our heart rate should be up. Our legs should be nice and warm. Our torso's nice and warm. One more breath. Nice. All right, let's look forward and then come forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Let's come into our chair pose again. Sink down low, reach up high. One more. Next inhale brings your hands to your heart center. Left elbow to the outside of that right knee. Now, we're working our thumbs into the chest, right in between your breasts. If that's not happening today, that's okay. You just work where you are. Let's check out our toes, make sure they're still in line. Check out the knees. Usually the left knee likes to creep forward. That's going to help keep your hips in line. Sink the booty down a little bit more. Little bit more. One more. Nice. Inhale back to chair. We can do this. Legs should be talking to you. Nice. Let's forward fold. Open up those feet about hips width distance apart. That's usually around 2 fists. We're going to grab the big toes with our peace fingers and pull ourselves down. Happy little Padangustasana, Padangustasana. Pull yourself down. If your legs aren't straight, that's okay. In fact, if you feel this a lot in the low back, I recommend you bending them. Notice your palms are facing towards each other. The elbows are, your biceps rather, are really pulling down. Really pull yourself down. Feel the nice decompression. Give your quads a little bit of a break. One more breath. Awesome. Okay, release those toes. All good things must be to both sides, right? So shimmy those toes forward. We are going to the left. Belly's in. Sink down into your chair. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Exhale, right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Now, again, work those thumbs towards your chest. If they're not touching your breastbone today, that's okay. Gaze is up towards the ceiling, or it can be down towards your toes. Let's check in there with the toes, make sure they're still in line. Draw that right knee back to get your hips a little more square. Belly stays in, booty comes because our legs are tired. Let's not make it easier. Let's build some strength. One more breath. Chair. We're holding this for 4 breaths. We can do this. That was 1. 2. 3. 1. 4. Forward fold. Hallelujah. Do you guys hear the angels singing? Because I did. Okay. Let's do gorilla pose, Padahastasana. We're going to slide the hands underneath the feet, put the palms of the hands to where they're touching the soles of the feet. A little bit of weight into those toes. Pull yourself down. Sometimes I get nice little pops in the back that just feel awesome. Let your head hang heavy. It's not invited to this party. 1 more. Awesome. All right, let's release those feet. We're going to come back, bring those toes together, heels slightly apart, and let's come back into chair. Woohoo! This will be the day of the chair. Okay, we're going to sink down slowly, 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 hands up, come into a tiny little ball squat. So try to fall behind you. Your heels are going to come up. That's a matter of how open your Achilles are. You're almost like resting on the calves now. So this is a really great ankle strengthener. I don't know about you, but I twist my ankles all the stinking time. Encourage strength and stability in these little lower regions. All right, we got this. Hands stay up. Belly stays in. 1 more. Okay, bring your hands to your heart center. We're going to work on a side crow. So when you first start out, your right thigh is going to be on both elbows. That's what I'll demonstrate today. Eventually, it'll only be on your left elbow, and your right elbow will just be out in the air. We should be nice and warm. Those ankles should be talking to you. So let's plant both hands down to the outside of that right thigh. Now, if you notice, when you bend those elbows, you've got like a perfect little shelf to lay your thighs on. So a little bit of yoga trick is, if you look down, you'll fall down. So even here in this crow, I'm looking forward as I then maybe one or both feet come off the mat. Mom, no feet on the ground. Now, if you want to get it to where only one arm is holding you up, you have to deepen your twist a little bit more. So right now, my right elbow is just about to my right hip. So to deepen this twist a little bit more and get your side crow to where it's only on the left, now my left elbow is basically in the center of my right thigh. My right arm is out and hanging out behind my butt. We're going to lean forward, same principle, look forward, and then maybe you've got your side crow. And your elbow doesn't have any weight on it. Woohoo! Now notice my arms didn't go out. They were. Let's come back here to this little bitty tiny ball squat. Your feet should be talking to you because I know mine are. Let's twist this and do the other side. So, belly's in. Plant both hands down onto the mat or the ground beside you. Left elbows to the outside of that left hip. Right elbow is on the outside of the right knee. Look forward. Look forward. Maybe your feet, one or both, come off the mat. Look forward. That's key. If you look down, it'll be much harder. Let's come out of this. And we'll try to do this. If you want, go back and do it again, same way, or you can work on just being on one arm. So deepen that twist, right elbow to the middle of that left thigh. Left elbow is out into the air, waving around like you just. You're so going to make fun of me when they get older. Okay, bend those elbows back. Lean forward. Look forward. Maybe you come up off the mat. Woohoo! Nice. Come on out of this. Tiny little ball squat. My ankles do not like me right now, but they will appreciate me the next time I hike, and they don't turn. Hands to your heart center. Channel your inner 2-year-old. Bellies come in. We're going to stand up slowly with control. Whew. Shake out those ankles. Oh, I don't know about you, but I needed a little bitty ankle break. Okay, inhale, hands come up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, high plank, low plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhaling, down dog. Left foot plants, right foot comes forward, warrior one. Now, if this is tweaky on the knees, remember you can always do a crescent lunge. That's where your heel is up into the air. We did crescent lunge in the first video, so I thought I would do some warrior ones today. Okay, sink into that right knee. We're going to add on to that sequence we did at the very beginning of class. So hands behind your back, pull them down and away, re-engage the abs, humble this warrior. Now, we're going to stay here in warrior one, or we're going to balance. Nice. Our hands down and back like we're flying an airplane. And then maybe the right hand grounds down to the mat, or maybe it never touches. Left hand reaches up. Left foot opens up to the left. Nice half moon. That's a really hard transition, so if you're using a block or the floor, totally okay. Your left side should be on fire, just like the right is. Bend that right knee ever so slightly and come into your warrior two. Do you like that sneaky transition to warrior two? Balance is so important, so important. It's something that if we don't practice regularly, it gets worse and worse over time. So I tend to be, well, before yoga, I tended to be really, really klutzy, so I like to try to do a lot of balance. No, really? Okay, extend at that angle. Right elbow to that right thigh, left hand reaching forward. Remember our cues. We can have our beach ball in front. Right hand can be reaching in front of, I guess that would be more towards the left. Or you can have your right hand down to the mat on the inside or the outside of that right foot, yogi's choice. I'm going to hold this beach ball, really work on these obliques. One more. Nice. Straighten that right leg. Let's come up to this five-pointed star. So my toes are reaching forward or maybe slightly pigeon-toed. Hands are reaching up high. Lengthen through the tailbone. Tailbone's down. Inhale up high. On the exhale, we're going to do a deep lunge to the left, so a deep skandasana. Left leg bends really high, really low, I guess that'd be rather. So the right toe's pointing up. Your left heel might be down, or it could be up. Again, that's just a matter. All will come. Feel this good stretch in the inner thigh along the right. We're going to think to ourselves, I can do this. You can either use your hands to push down, or you can say, look, Mom, no hands. Come up and over to the other side. Oh, yeah. A little extra credit in those thighs and the butts. I love to work the butt. Okay. Now, push down a lot. Maybe you use your hands. Maybe they can stay up. Yogi's choice. Push down, come up. Here we are. Bent knees and goalpost arms. So I think I cued toes reaching forward because then I switched my game plan so the toes are actually reaching a little bit out. You probably noticed that on your own. Totally okay. Sink down a little lower. I bet you guys all thought I was just going to do a forward fold. Psych. Sink down a little lower. One more. Nice. Straighten the arms, straighten the legs. We're going to come back to this warrior two to the front. So that left foot angles back to be parallel to the back of the mat. Right toes twisting over towards the front. We're going to straighten that right leg, reach the hands forward, and come into this beautiful side opening triangle pose. Now, lots of options with triangle pose. You can have this really wide stance if you'd like. You can grab hold of your big toe, reaching your chest forward. Now, this can be really intense here in these obliques and in the low back, so make sure you tilt the tailbone down. If this is too hard, you can walk that back foot forward some and walk your right hand up some, and that just really helps to make this a little more accessible. All right, let's keep breathing. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit more side abdominal work. Don't lock that right knee. So there's a micro bend here in this right knee. Left hand's reaching towards the sky, little movements. I'm going to do, that's 6, 8. After the 8th, I'm going to come back. Whoo! Left hand down, right hand up. All right. Coming up to the toes of the left foot. Ooh, no, I'm not going to do that. Right foot back, high plank, low plank. I almost snuck in a little side plank. But, maybe next video. Couple breaths. Now, the yoga teacher has to remember what she did on the right side. I always make plans, and then once I start moving, it totally changes. Okay, so left foot's going to come forward, right heel plants, warrior one on the left. Whew. My right hip flexor is not happy these days. Sink it in. Lengthen the tailbone down. Belly stays in. All right, clasp those hands behind your back. Pull them back. Open up across the chest. Sink into that left knee. Now we're going to humble this. Now this is real easy to let the booty stick out to the side. Try to keep it in line, even in this humbling. We're going to come up to that left foot, or you can stay here on this humbled warrior one. If you want to join me in the balance, step up. Release the arms, airplane arms. Gather your balance. Try to keep the hips square to the mat. Now we're going to open them up, half moon. Maybe you have your hand on a block. Maybe you have the hand on the floor. Maybe your left hand is waving in the air. I'm way too close to the wall. Bend that left knee slowly with control. Warrior two. Woohoo! Check in with this right arm. Don't let it be like all wobbly. You want it to be kind of parallel. Energy out through those fingers. We're strong. Gazes over the left fingertips. Extended side angle. Left elbow to that left thigh. Right hand reaching forward. Chest is facing forward. I guess that would be facing the side wall. Now, remember you can hold the beach ball. Left hand out in front. Left hand straight out from your, which way is front? Forward and front, right? Whoo! They can be to the outside of the left foot. Working on getting my core stability back. Babies are awesome, but they wreak havoc on your abdominal muscles. Inhale, let's come up. Open up, five-pointed star. Whew. Hallelujah. Okay, so now we're going to get a nice forward fold. Did you like how I didn't do that with my butt towards the air, towards the camera? Did that on purpose. Yeah, I might be online in front of the whole world, but there's still some level of vanity. So forward fold. Okay, hands planting down on the mat, fingertips in line with the toes, crown of the head reaching towards the ground. So we don't want tons of weight here, unless you're just jonesing for a headstand, in which case go for it. I'm not really jonesing for a headstand, but I'm going to stay here in this forward fold a while. So if you notice, I'm like way low, right? That means I need to shimmy these feet in a little bit more. And now I actually start to feel stuff. Before, when I was so wide, because my hamstrings are limber, it wasn't doing much for me. This is a little bit better. So you have your feet as wide as you need to comfortable might not be the right word, but hopefully those of you that were working on your headstand got a little bit of time to do that. Let's come back to those Skandasanas. So bend into that right knee, left foot comes up. This is one of my favorite little stretches. It's awesome. Okay, maybe your hands never touch the mat. Maybe you push off. Yogi's choice. I'll demonstrate pushing off. So, in this deep Skandasana, you think about belly in and pelvis. One more here. Okay, push down, lift up. Here we are in horse pose. Some people call this goddess pose. Some people call this horse pose. Some people call this a wide-legged deep squat. Sumo squat. Okay. Now, do you want to challenge your ankles or check one set of toes or the other? Maybe your legs start to shake. Ladies and gentlemen, Elvis has entered the building. Keep breathing.
Jazz hands. Okay. Sink one more. Awesome. Straighten it up. Straighten. Hands reach up high. We're going to come into this warrior. Actually, straight-legged. Left leg. Right leg parallel to the back floor. Come into your triangle. So, what is, I think, more important? I think it's less important to have your finger down here and your chest closed off. I think, me personally, it can be open. It's like stretching out this side, psoas, obliques. So if you can touch your toes, maybe even you're up here. Go where you are today. Super awesome. Let's come up. Back to this 5-pointed star. Oh, man. And we're going to rotate towards the back of the room. What is this teacher doing? So here we are, warrior 2 on the right. I'm just skipping a vinyasa. Okay. So we've already done our extended side angle and our triangle. Now, let's play with it. We're going to either come back to this extended side angle. Our side should be nice and open. Or we can work on a bind. Right elbow in front of the right thigh, reaching around behind. Maybe the left hand is just reaching around to the inner thigh of the right. Or if you want the full expression, bind the right hand behind the right thigh with the left hand open and over the top of the front side body. Your gaze can be at your toes or it can be reaching up. We're just going to do this bound extended side angle today. We might play with more intense variations one day in the future, coming back up to your warrior 2. Your right thigh should be on fire. Sink down. We're doing another horse pose because I love to build strength. Now, sink down low. Hands out wide. Here, right elbow to right knee. Left elbow. Right. Left. Don't let your hips come up. We got to do this 2 more times on each side. Getting a lot of abs in today. Last one. Oh, sink it in. Your thighs talking to you. Straighten it up. We're coming into this warrior 2 on the front. So, no rest for the weary. Remember, you can take a break whenever you'd like. You can modify things as much as you'd like. You can always hit pause and come back. Extended side angle, half bind, right hand around behind, grabs that left thigh, or full bind, left hand around the front and then the back of the left behind you to grab that left. You want to keep a bend into that left knee. Did you guys see how I was cheating? Okay, plant the hands down to the end. We're going to pick up the left foot. Take your vinyasa. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so let's get one more balancing sequence in before we come all the way down to the mat. Our ankles should be nice and warm. Our bellies should be nice and warm. So why not, right? Okay, so lots of options here. We can just jump forward into a Malasana squat, which is this wide-legged yogi squat. You see how I froggied up to there? Or you can take a few donkey kicks. These are also, I think I've heard them called. What happens when you first start out, it looks something like this, where your butt stays back. Eventually, what you want to do is butt comes up, kick, come down. So a Shakti kick, you're trying to basically just kick your own butt. Play with it. Remember, if you're up against the wall, it's okay if you kick too far. Well, that wasn't a very good demonstration because I just floated. So it's okay. I'm going to kick too hard and hit the wall. It's okay if this happens. That was still not. Hard time over kicking. Kick the wall. That's okay. You know what that is? That's teaching your body where it needs to and how it needs to kick to get your booty up. You'll find that there's like a nice little fulcrum where you can balance. Now, okay, that doesn't happen overnight, guys. And so if you're having trouble getting the hips up,
Just keep practicing, because I am not a superstar balancer by any shape of the imagination. Okay, Malasana squat. First time we've been here all day. Woohoo, can you believe that? Okay, so I promised you a nice balance posture. We're going to hang out here, nice little opening in the hip. Mula Bandha, that's that pelvic floor lifting up. Uddiyana Bandha, belly button to spine. I found that don't really cue the Mula Bandha near as much, and I didn't think about it near as much until I had kids. And now I'm like, holy crap, I really freaking need to think about that Mula Bandha. Okay, belly's in. Think to yourself, I can do this. And we're going to channel that inner toddler one more time. Remember, you can use your hands to push yourself up. This is just a really good way to get into the glutes and the quads. Come up to standing. Wah. Okay, shake it out. So we're going to come into, what have we not done so far? We haven't done a lot of balancing. Let's do just a basic tree pose. So I'm going to look forward so you can see what I'm doing. Remember, the wall is your friend. Also, the harder the surface that you're standing on, the easier the balance will be. So if you're on carpet, it's going to be a little more challenging than if you're on hardwood or concrete. Honestly, even this little bitty mat can be just enough to confuse your brain. The better you are at balancing on soft surfaces, the better you'll be at balancing in real life. So your hands can be here at your hips or at your heart center. Your left heel can come up just above the right ankle. It can come up to the calf, or it can come high up onto the inner thigh. Where it is not is on your knees. You don't want your toes, you don't want any weight pressing your knee out. Your knee's supposed to go forward and backwards, right? Not out to the side. If it goes out to the side, then we have a nice trip to the doctors, and we don't want that. So if your hips aren't as open as this today, totally okay. You might have your knee up like that. That's all right. So a secret that I've found for balance is waving around just like that. Oh my gosh, that's so embarrassing. As I'm talking to you about balance, push that left heel into the right thigh. So if that left heel is just hanging out, then you're going to get wobbly, just like this. If you push that left heel into the right thigh, you're going to suddenly be like, oh, look, Teach, I can do this. I can move around. That left foot has to be active. Your hands are pressing into your heart center. The left foot's really pressing into the right thigh. Okay, now, a little bit of Jane Fonda, giving a shout out to the first home workout video queen. We're going to lift the left leg out, set it down. So that right leg, that's usually one of the easier balance postures. And remember, balance is challenging for everybody. That's why we do it, right? But keep doing it. But hopefully we're having a good time. I completely lost my train of thought. Okay, right elbow to the on top of the left, right heel on top of the left ankle. Holy mackerel. I'm forgetting my body parts. Right foot onto the left calf. Or right foot all the way up on the inner thigh. Now remember that really hard into the inner thigh or hard into the calf. Like you're just using this right leg to press into the left to create some stability. Nice. Now your hands can be here at your heart center. You can be like waving your branches. You can be like a weeping willow. It doesn't matter. Honestly, I think it's good to try to play around with movements because all that does is it just helps to reinforce that proprioception that we're working right now. It helps us to get a little more stable. So if it's all you can do and you're hanging out here next to the wall, totally okay. Another secret here is the belly. If the belly's like hanging out loose, not doing anything, then it's going to be much harder to balance. If you keep the belly engaged, like we could have hurricane force winds and this tree is planted. All right, push into that left leg one more. Now channel that inner Jane Fonda. Or wasn't it Billy Blanks with the, Tybo? Yeah, I loved that when I was in high school, showing my age. Okay, let's come on down to the floor. We're going to practice one more set of upper body strengthening, and then we'll come down to the floor. Inhale, hands up. You can skip this vinyasa if you want and just meet me in a down dog. Now remember, if you're really working on getting up to your hands and you're here by the wall, this is something that I found that's been very helpful to me because I'm just really legitimately stupidly afraid of being upside down. I busted my head open when I was a kid, and so it's this weird block, almost like writer's block. So something that's helped me is to force myself to do it, even if it's not pretty. And so I would just kick up and try to touch the wall and make myself do it. And this does a couple of things. It helps me to get over my fear But it also helps to raise your heart rate up, because anytime blood is rushing towards your hands and above your heart, it's got to work. So you guys hear my heart racing? So remember, you don't have to kick all the way up. If you're just kicking up some, that's okay. It's still getting your heart rate up. If you touch the wall, that's all right. See, I'm just kicking because it's fun. Okay, I'll meet you in your downward facing dog. Let's come back to our plank, down on our forearms. We're going to do side plank, down on the forearms. So open up on the right, left hand comes up. Remember, you can stay here on this right knee as well. This would be kind of like a high plank on your forearms, over towards the left. Remember, left knee is always an option. Oh gosh, wrong shirt choice today. Okay, hold this plank. We got this. Maybe we do a little bit of forward and back action, getting into the shoulders. Okay, let's come all the way down to the floor. Oh, hallelujah. A little bit of back bend time. Bring those fingertips in line with your chest. Tops of the toes planted onto the mat. Lengthen through the tailbone. Squeeze the elbows together as we lift the head up. If you want to juice it up, lift the hands up. Juice it up some more, lift the feet up. Nice locust pose, Shalabhasana. Awesome. Windshield wiper this out. We can do another locust pose, just like that. Or I'm too close to the wall to do a Superman, so I'm going to do a out to a T. So remember, tops of the feet planted into the mat, hands out wide. If you've got the space, your hands can be out in front. So inhale, come on up. Channel that inner little mermaid, toes together. Reach the hands out wide, chest is up proud. Now, maybe we play with this forward and back. Forward and back. Hands reach forward, come back. So this is working those little muscles between the shoulder blades. Keep squeezing the back body. Those hamstrings are working. The glutes are working. Let's do one more. Squeeze it up high, and then set it down. Whoo! Windshield wiper those legs. All right, last opportunity for a really good push-up. Engage the quads, lengthen through the tailbone. Elbows squeezing together, belly's in, push up, downward facing dog. Look between those hands. We're going to come through to seated. Yogi's choice. I'm going to face you guys. Let's go straight into boat pose. Our bellies are nice and warm. So boat number 1, feet on the mat, hips width distance apart, hands out. 1.5, 2, full expression is 3, straight legs. Bend the knees, squeeze them in. You guys know I like this. I'm going to do a little bit different. Let them go. Right leg out, left leg out, right leg in, left leg in. Squeeze. Let them go. Back to boat. Squeeze. Bring the knees in. Right leg out, left leg out, right knee in, left knee in. Bring them in, up. Let's do this one more time. Knees into the chest. Now we're going to do left leg out, right leg out, left leg in, right leg in. Oh, use your belly, squeeze those knees in. Back to boat. I lied, we're going to do it one more time. 2 times on each side. Left leg out, left leg in, right leg in. Back to boat. Slowly with control, bring it down. Woo, those abs should be talking to you. But we're not done yet. Oh, no, no. Au contraire. Okay, so let's go ahead, bring the knees in, give them a squeeze. We're going to go ahead and set up for a little bit more of a low abdominal exercise. So legs can be up here straight in the air, or if that's too much on the hammies, your legs can be bent. Your hands can be beside your hips, palms facing down. What we're going to do is try to lift the hips up off the mat, but we're not trying to bring our toes forward. We're trying to bring our toes up towards the ceiling. Are you ready? Let's shoot for 10 of them. Ready? Lift. 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice. Bring those knees in. Oh. Maybe you do a little bit of happy baby. So that means your knees on the outsides of the chest, hands on the inside or the outsides of the feet. I don't care. Really working those knees down. One day the knees touch the mat. Maybe not. Okay. So now we're going to do a little bit more ab work. That left leg's going to extend up to the sky. The right leg's going to go out, but it never touches. And now let's do some big circles. 5 of them. So try to keep that left leg steady. I don't know if you saw mine moving. Okay, 5 in the other direction. Remember that right foot never touches the ground. And if your hip, that means I was using my joints and not my muscles, so I had to back out some. All right, right leg stays steady. We're going to do those circles with the left. So you're going to think to yourself, oh, this is nothing. I promise you this is something. If you're using your muscles, you're going to feel it. All right, let's do 5 in the other direction. Right leg steady. You probably can see that I struggle with that. Okay, now here is the bonus material. Everybody likes a good bonus, right? Let's try to do this with our legs together. 5 in each direction, big circles, and then 5 in each direction, little circles. Whew, let's do this. 1, try to keep your hips planted on the mat. 2, try to keep the low back planted on the mat. 3, 4, 5. 5 in the other direction. 1, 2, this way's harder for me. 3, 4, 5. Okay, little bitty ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, bring those knees in. Coming down to the mat. So if you have a block, we're going to use it now. If you don't have a block, if you have like a really thick couch cushion, you can use that. You can use beach towels like I have behind me. I have a block, so I'm going to show you guys with the block. This is going to really help to stretch the hip flexors, and then that might create some relief in the low back. My hip flexors are feeling really tight, so I'm throwing this in at the end of our practice. So I'm going to set my sacrum. So this is the low back, this is the butt, that little triangle at the top of the butt, that's your sacrum. I'm going to set my sacrum onto the block. So you'll notice this is like a nice supported bridge almost, right? I'm going to bring the right knee in, give it a squeeze. So here we are in wind removing pose. Left leg is extended out. Now, you don't need a block. Everybody stay there if you are. You can still do wind removing pose on the right, but when you put your hips up on this block, what it does is it creates a little bit more space for you to stretch the front of the leg out. So, like, if you're super, super tight in the hip flexors, you might not even need a block to feel anything. So my hip flex, I tend to be more limber, right? So I have to create some ability to have some space. So for those of you that have a lot of low back pain from sitting at a desk all the time, from muscle atrophy in the lower bellies, this can be fantastic. Like, I'm not going to lie. This is what I do when my low back is bothering me. I hang out here. So what else is it doing? This right knee to your chest, that's helping with elimination. So you can thank me tomorrow. Everything in yoga, it seems like all Eastern medicine is all about elimination. So yes, people, I'm talking about poop because it's fun to talk about poop. Okay, lengthen that left heel down, bring that right knee into the chest, squeeze it in. All right, use your abdominal muscles. Let's switch sides. Oh, God, this is my hard side. So if your right heel doesn't touch the mat, that's okay. Squeeze that left knee in. Holy moly, I would have thought by now this would have opened up some, but it hasn't. Squeeze the left knee in. So this is the descending colon side. The other side's the channeling back to my old. Squeeze that left knee in. You'll find that as you squeeze the left knee in, it's creating a little more pressure on this right, which is what I need. I'm trying to think to myself heavy thoughts in my right heel to really stretch this right hip flexor. Okay, one more. Okay, use your abdominal muscles, bring both of those knees up. Now, if you are jonesing for another back bend, go for it. I'm going to hang out here and demonstrate a bridge because we're kind of already here. Planting the feet, fingertips. Remember, this is an assisted bridge with your block underneath your sacrum. If you just want to juice this up, tilt the tailbone down. Did you see that? This is tailbone not down. This is tailbone lengthening down. Then you come up into your bridge pose. If you let the tailbone out, back. When you lengthen the tailbone down, that can create the space that you need, especially if you tend towards, let's see, sway back. I was trying to think of a nice PG way of saying that. Remember, chin up towards the ceiling, guys. Keep that natural curve in your neck. Keep pressing those hips up. One more. Awesome. Okay. Set the hips down. We're going to let the knees fall heavy over towards the right. Notice I didn't stack them. My right foot is basically on top of my left knee. This is a great interior, golly bum, use your words, Jennifer. This is an interior rotation for the hip, which we rarely do. We always do external rotations. This is an internal rotation. That was the word I'm looking for. On the left, still is a nice twist on the right, but I feel like most yoga poses, when we get into the hips, it's all about external rotation. And what I am wanting to accomplish is a little bit more internal to get into those hip flexors. If you want to juice it up, you can set that right heel on top of the left thigh, looking over towards the left. All right. Ground that right foot down. Use your abdominal muscles to pull you up. Maybe recenter your hips and let the knees fall heavy. Gaze towards the right. Remember, we've got a nice internal rotation here on the right side. You should feel this a lot on the outside of that right thigh. If you want to juice it up, left foot can come on top of the right thigh. And boy, did that juice it up. Out of this. Give those knees one more squeeze. And I welcome you to come into a nice, juicy, lovely Shavasana. So if you can get 7 minutes of Shavasana, take it. Like, that's like the perfect time to get your all of this stuff all matched out together. But my kid could be waking up at any point in time. So don't shoot yourself if you can't. It's really important to take the opportunity to rest and let your body catch up with what you did today in this practice. So take as much time as you can to rest, seal in the benefits of this pose, all of these poses we did, the practice, and just breathe. I want to take a moment to say thank you. I'm not going to have you guys watch me take my Shavasana. So this is Jennifer Dixon with Yoga East signing off. I hope you enjoyed your practice with me today. Keep an eye out. Like I said, we are going to start offering these
regularly online. So these are nice little teaser flows that you can do with me. I hope you like it. Give me some feedback. Let me know what you want to work on. And until next time, namaste.